Comox Valley is located about 110 km on the east coast of Vancouver Island. The valley is situated between a majestic range of mountains, and the largest towns in the area are Courtenay, Comox, and Cumberland. These communities hosted the 1990 BC Senior Games. The residents of the area were pleased to welcome competitors and guests from all over the province of British Columbia, who attended the Games on September 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. The registration of competitors took place on Wednesday afternoon. Each zone had a registration area and will help participants with our event schedules.
The province is divided into zones such as the Lower Mainland and Southern Vancouver Island sent more than 160 competitors to the Games. Participants from the northern regions travelled more than 1,700 kilometres to attend. 6 of the zones had chartered buses to bring them to the island, while many of us travelled in cars and motorhomes. We would be competing in 20 medal events and 5 demonstration events. The minimum age for entering the Games is 55 years old. The evening of September the 5th was warm and clear, ideal for the opening ceremonies. 100 volunteers were coming together for the 4 days of competition and fun. This would be the 3rd annual BC Seniors Games. The 1988 Games were held in Vernon, where about 600. The following year, the town of Trail was the site of the larger Games. The 1990 Games saw 2,200 guests arriving in the Comox Valley from outside the area. I understand that more than 25 are in the zone playoffs.
The formal entrance of the Games flag was followed by the introduction of the officials and dignitaries and speeches by the organizers and government representatives. The objectives of the BC Senior Games are to promote active participation by seniors in sports, recreation, fitness, and culture, demonstrate the values and sense of community spirit.
There was sure a lot of community spirit at these Games. We were entertained very well during the opening ceremonies, and for the following 3 days of competition, we made many friends while we were there. That is one of the really nice aspects of this event. Everyone was so friendly. A moving part of the opening ceremony was the entrance of the flame, carried by Herb Bradley, a local sports celebrity. The Games were officially underway and honoured by a flypast by F-18s from the Comox Air Force Base. The next morning, bright and early, participants were preparing for the first round of competition. A 10-kilometre time trial was the first event playing, and the competitors were ready for the 1-minute interval start. Other cycle event, road race for men, 40 kilometres for ladies, as well as a 3-kilometre hill.
About 80 badminton players gathered at the Comox Forces Base gym to play in competition. The round-robin competition had seniors playing off in 5 different events, with the participants to play. The lawn bowlers enjoyed lovely weather during their competition. 60 bowlers played off in ladies' pairs, men's pairs, and mixed pairs. The game of lawn bowling originated in England and is now played in many parts of the world. A good eye is a golf tournament held at the Sunningdale Golf Course. 2 men and 2 women from each zone played of this event.
This was our first involvement with the BC Seniors Games. We soon realized that although we were in competition with other seniors, it was just as important to participate and to have fun as it was to win. The swimming pool at the Comox Valley Recreation Centre was a constant buzz of activity during the Games, in freestyle, butterfly, breaststroke, backstroke and medley. The longest distance that swimmers competed in was the 400-metre freestyle, which is a good test of endurance. The oldest competitor in swimming was in her 80s. Cumberland Tin Park was the venue for the horseshoes competition. The clink of the ringers was music to the ears of the almost 100 competitors. Age classes were divided into 55 to 64 years old, and 65 and older. We usually play at horseshoes at our annual summer picnic. The judges were in constant demand, deciding close calls.
Some new facilities had been built in the town of Comox for the tennis players. Each zone is allowed to send 16 competitors for this event, so the organizers were kept busy keeping a tally of scores and results. I counted 110 medals altogether. One aspect of the BC Seniors Games that made the 4 days in Comox Valley so memorable was the social activities. Organized for the participants and guests during the daytime, the drop-in centers provide a place to relax and visit with friends. In the evenings, we had the option of dining out at one of the many restaurants which stayed open later to accommodate all the visitors, or take in the social functions which were organized for the seniors. There was dancing and singing to a variety of bands. One evening, the local native Indian band prepared a huge salmon barbecue, which we all enjoyed very much.
If you didn't feel like dancing, there was always a game of cards going on with some good prizes for the winners. Playing cards was also one of the medal events. The game of cribbage was always good for a few laps. Also, bridge and contract bridge were in the medal events. Legion Hall in Comox was a big hourly activity for 3 days. The darts were flying. Some of those dart players didn't even stop for lunch. Here, only one age category applied to men and women, anyone over the age of 55, but each zone was limited to 2 men and 2 women. Now for some really high-speed action. We sure had to keep the noise down at this event. These people were really concentrating. This is the cue for the next medal event. Snooker was played in a round-robin format. Play with the best 2 out of 3 games going forward to the next round, and 9 medals were awarded in this competition.
Cumberland Recreation Center was the destination for the table tennis players and fans. The competitors were able to play in both, so many of them played a lot of games before the winners were decided in each class. Carpet bowling is a sport that I hadn't seen before. It looks like a lot of fun, and it can be played in almost any hall or recreation center. This is floor curling. The rules are similar to ice curling, but you don't finish this game with cold feet. Each team had 4 curlers. The 5-pin bowling alley was a good place to visit. There was always plenty of action. Each team of 5 bowlers played off in 11 games. The medals are awarded to the winning teams, and also individual high scores were rewarded, which made the competition even more exciting. The seats at the Courtenay Theatre were packed for 3 afternoons of one-act plays. The gold medal this year went to the actors from Port Coquitlam.
Time and the people are having a great time. The enthusiasm is terrific. Wonderful.
Come on, Eddie. Do it to him, baby.
Ivy Granson, who is completely blind, was a real inspiration. She holds several world records. Bill Clayton was the oldest competitor, having just celebrated his 100th birthday. This man still had lots of energy after the 10-kilometer walk. The demonstration events attracted a lot of attention. Slalom canoeing was demonstrated on the Courtenay River, which runs through the centre of town. While we were watching, we saw some seals swimming past. They were chasing the salmon that were coming up the river to spawn. A large group of people did Tai Chi at Lewis Park. It would take a lot of practice to keep in time with the master. Pretty fancy balls were demonstrated in the archery event. These archers were right on target.
The synchronized swim team, called the Silver Synchros from Comox Valley, demonstrated just how much can be achieved with cooperation and lots of practice. The average age of the ladies is 65 years. They have performed in several places around the province and were featured in the TV program The Best Years. The wide variety of medal events at the Games included a bagpiping competition. The kilt-clad competitors were judged in 3 different categories. The largest group of participants in one event played off for medals in the slow pitch tournament. 180 ball players pitched, hit, ran, and scored, keeping the ball diamonds full of players and spectators until late on the last afternoon of the games. Each of the teams played as a mixed team with a minimum of 2 ladies to be on the field at all times.
The track and field events attracted a larger group of athletes. These long-distance runners were starting on a 10-kilometer road race. Other events in track were long jump, shot put, 1,500-meter track race, 200-meter, 400-meter, 4x100-meter relay, as well as a 5 and 10-kilometer walk. There was also the pentathlon. Many friendships were made during the Games. I'm sure that many of these people are planning to keep in good shape so they can qualify in their zone to meet up with the gang at the next Games. This is the end of the 10-kilometer walking race. I'm sure that some of these competitors found that the hot, sunny weather was almost too nice after walking that distance.
After trying our best at the Games, a lot of satisfaction was gained by participating, but winning a medal for the effort was a bonus. More than 1,000 medals were presented. By the end of the 1990 Games, many of the winners who participated for the first time will be able to show their friends and families that they are able to demonstrate the values and abilities of seniors. All too soon, the sun was setting on the Saturday evening, and the closing ceremonies were being staged at Lewis Park. It was time to conclude the 4-day event that we will remember for a long, long time. It would also mark the beginning of the plans for many of us to try out for the 1991 BC Senior Games in Coquitlam.
Support vehicle, like
Good. Gotcha.
Really great. Everything is just turning out perfect.
Beautiful time. I would call that the friendly games, you know. I have never seen a competition like that.
Great. Super. Great. Yeah. I would recommend it for anybody. Yeah. Don't wait till you get too old.
Good. You have a good time?
Had a great time.
Good.
Yeah, really.
That's good.
I enjoyed it immensely.
Good.
had a marvelous, better than I expected, you know, and these little extra things make it very nice too.
Good. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Full time.
That's good.
I think everybody did.
Good. Good.
We've got a really nice time.
Good.
I don't know what, even if we don't qualify to come next year, we're all going to come anyway, just for the hospitality.
It's
a great day, a great 3 days. And we're looking forward to having everybody with us in Coquitlam.
Well, we're in the, we enjoyed ourselves.
Hey, I'm Trevor Wicks. I would like to thank the organisers and participants of the 1990 BC Senior Games, particularly the people that I recorded on videotape. I had a really enjoyable time at the events and the social functions. In fact, everybody has such a good time. I wonder if they would lower the minimum age to 45 years old.